suck at trying to get that music off. I don't have my light on. I don't know if I should turn it on or not. I didn't really get ready, but so can everyone see me okay without my light on? Hello. Yes, justice for Quinton. Woo woo. Hey, Lori. Hey, Jen. Hey, Princess Megan Elsa. Hey, Parker. Hey, Kellyanne. Hey, Thumb Thug. Sarah Ann. Lori. My audio is changed. Hold on. It should be on my mic. Can you hear it okay? I don't know why. My audio is on my mic. I don't know why it's being weird. I mean, I could put on like headphone reverb. What about if I have it far away like this? Hey, Paul. Let me try unplugging it and plugging it back in. Oh, it's better? Okay. If I have to like replug it back in, let me know. I can try that. It might be because it was just close to my computer. I have a day shirt. I blame Parker. I was hanging over her stream too long and didn't have time to get ready. Let me get my glasses so I can see stuff. Reverb. Okay, hold on. Okay, how's that? I don't know what is causing it to be weird. I could put my headphones on and do that, Mike. I don't want to because they're big and bulky, but let me Google why my mic is getting reverb. Make sure the internal mic is not playing back through the speakers. Hold on, let me check my I think I figured it out. Okay, how about now? I think I had two mics that were on at the same time. It should work now. Okay. I didn't see it. I looked on there, but I didn't. Send me a picture of it, Paul, if you have it. A white noise? What in the world? No, there's not a lizard laying on my mic. I promise. I had one on my mic last night, but it says reverb happens from like bouncing off surfaces, but I don't know. Like from my voice, maybe I have to be like in the mic. I think it was because I had a second mic running at the same time. I had like my computer mic running. I don't know. Okay, good. Thanks, Queen Bella. So I don't know what to start with. I guess we'll just talk. We can talk about So if you guys haven't seen, Brett Buffington interviewed the babysitter down the street, which I don't really think was like, I don't think she shared anything that was like majorly important or different than what we already like knew. Like, I don't think there was anything like any breaking information on that really. But I can play a clip or like a little bit of it if you guys want to see it. And then hold on a second. And Quinton Simons. Speaking of Mike, where has Officer Mike been? Good question. I haven't seen Mike in a while. I haven't seen him like in a couple of streams, I feel like. But so Quinton Simons' grandmom was arrested today, I believe, because she, I guess, did like an interview. You have a question. What do you think about the Watts house being sold to girls? Oh, like little kids? I mean, I don't know. If it was, I feel like they spent like way too much on that house. I would have like tried to get it for way less because of what happened there. But I don't think I'd feel weird living in a house where something like that happened. I don't know. That stuff doesn't really bother me. You know what I mean? Like if it's a beautiful home and you like it, I don't know that would like be a deal breaker for me. Like I thought that was crazy how much they spent on it. I'll say that. Like they spent a lot of freaking money on that house. But like yeah, exactly. I would have loved to buy the house too for the right price. You know what I mean? I feel like they could have got it way less than that. Okay, Parker. And I got my Red Bull. You feel weird living there? But if they want to, more power to them. Yeah, Riley. Yeah, they went $75K over to get it. That's crazy to me. I would have been like, people died in this house. You know what I mean? Like people, and I would bring up that people drive by it all the time, and all that stuff to try and get it like lowered a little bit because I think that's just a ridiculous price they paid for it. But hey, maybe it was like one of those things where they just totally fell in love with the house and it worked. Or maybe it's like some weird thing where they knew nothing about it, which I highly doubt it, but you never know. Hold on. I need a tissue in my nose. Okay. But yeah, I that stuff wouldn't make me feel weird living there. I don't know. I don't get like weirded out about that stuff. I'd probably enjoy it. I'm weird like that. I'd have my like buying ghost equipment and stuff because I'm into that shit. So yeah, or buy and flip it, right, Brandon? The realtor's going around Facebook message boards smack talking people. Why? Hold on, guys. Let me mute real quick. I'm about to sneeze. Okay. I will say that I do feel it was decorated super ugly though, and I feel like the outside of it is super ugly. Like the color, but I think it's like an HOA, so they probably all have to have that color, but I just think that like shit brown is so freaking ugly. Would have totally bought it if I lived in Colorado and wasn't a terrible driver in the snow, right? I'm not a great driver in the snow either. I used to like have no problem. Like I would just be out there, doing my thing. Now I'm like, the older I get, the more old lady I become. Like I used to be like adrenaline junkie, and now I'm like, let me drive down the street at 2 miles an hour. I have a Lexus IS 300, and it's all like spruced up, with the like extra power and stuff like that, and it's rear wheel drive, which I always have a hard time saying. It's like a tongue twister, but I always panic when it like snows or just gets even a little wet because I feel like the back of it goes like this when I hit the gas too hard, and I panic. I hate driving in the snow or like the rain. It has a snow button, but still I get scared. I'm like, oh my god, it's sliding everywhere. Yeah, the outside color is like a mix between a dirty diaper and a baby bar. Facts. That outside the house is so freaking ugly. Like, why anybody? I wish I don't know if it's an HOA and they have to keep it, but if I could change it, I would too. Like, look at the color of this house. It is the ugliest. Who picked this color? Let me just show you how ugly this color is. If you don't know what the house looks like, it is literally like, you know, when those babies have those nasty like shits that go all the way up their back and it's like green, puke green and brown. That's what it looks like. $72 today. Well, lucky you. Yeah, mine has, yeah, it's a sports car that my IS300. It's pink. I have a pink car and it has little hearts as the lights. And it's rear wheel drive and it's very loud. I'll have to play the video of me doing a two-step competition at a car show one day. It's really loud. It's a 2JZ in it, if anyone knows anything about cars. It's like a very, yes, I have a pink car. You know I love pink. I mean, come on. Do you think my car wouldn't be pink if I have everything else? Yes, I have a pink car. Well, it's somewhat pink. Here, I'll show you guys. Hold on. Let me stop my screen so I don't dox my kid, and then I'll show you a picture of my car. And it has hearts as the tail lights. I swear to God. It's really loud too. It's like, all right, guys, before you make fun of me, I was in a car club that was called Royalty. I would never put a sticker on my car that says Royalty because I'm not corny like that. It was the name of the car club. I'm no longer in it, so it's not on there. And I love the car club, the actual people in Royalty. They're awesome. But like, I don't want people to think I put like hot babe or sticker on my car or something because I wouldn't do that. But it's pink all the way up the middle and the back. And I mean, it technically doesn't look like a sports car, but it's like a sport edition. It has the same engine that a Supra has in it. So, all right, hold on. Let me stop it again and I'll show you my tail lights. Here's another pretty picture of it. And then even the inside of my doors, like, you know, the cloth on your doors, they're pink too. I gotta find my hearts. Hold on. Here we go. Can you see? Can you see them? I can't really make it any bigger, but. How cute are they, though? I did that myself. Come on, hit the, and it looks so much better in person, though. It's like hard to see from the picture, but take it down. Why? I have a big Ram 2500 Mega Cab. Got it in a divorce. Wish I could tell you the personalized plate. I have we have a Ford F-150 too, which I love driving big cars. Like, I prefer the big cars, but well, I don't know. See, like, I feel safer in the big cars, which I like. I'm small, so I like being up high. But then after I don't drive the IS in a while, I'm like, ooh, let me get it. Like, I miss driving this. So like I haven't driven in a few months just because it's been like cold and my heater core is broken in it. So we have to change the heater core. And so I've been driving our Explorer and our Ford F-150. But what's the other one? We did have a what's it called too? Nissan 350Z. We sold it, and then we had an old Celica, the ones that look like a Supra in Nardo gray, and we sold that too for like work cars though. Yeah, you want to see my Nissan 350Z? Hold on, I'll throw it up real quick. Or I might have to go on Dave's because I think it's on his. Yeah, hold on. Here you go. There's our 350Z. I don't know why he sold this. He sold this to get his gaming computer. Because I was like, we're not putting out like the amount of money you want for a gaming computer. So he sold it for his gaming computer. And then before that, and you want to see what my pink car looked like before I turned it pink? Like that. So this was my car before I changed everything. Yeah, the old Celicas, aren't they awesome? This one we got for like $500. It was so broken down, but we fixed it up real nice. I bet the guy we sold it to has it now. He has better pictures, but they look like we had it in Nardo gray, which is like a real popular. But they look like the old Supras. In a nutshell, baby Supras they're called. All right, enough about cars. Parker, you drive a minivan? Oh, okay. I can cut it out. I just read your message. Hold on a minute. God darn it. I love the Celica too. I miss it. But the only thing I like driving the Lexus, but it's lowered, so it's a lot. Like every time you hit a bump, it's like he's gonna put new suspension in and make it a little softer. Yeah, my car's wrapped. We wrapped it ourselves. Well, up the middle. It's painted on the sides and wrapped up the middle. But I was like, I want pink, so I found pink wrap. But I will say the pink is starting to like fade white from the sun, and it like is ripped in a few spots. So I wouldn't recommend getting like a wrap for the long term. You know what I mean? Because after a couple of years, it starts to get shitty. So Paul, I think it is the relay switch, which I ordered one from Amazon, which should be here now. I haven't gone out and looked. We're hoping that's what it is because, all right, so we just got the starter fixed like a month ago, and or like 2 months ago. Cars and reptiles. Kate is so cool. You want to see a video of me doing a two-step competition? Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Sort by no. How do I find like? I think I have to search my own page, and I don't remember how to do that. Let me see. I don't know how I can find it. Let's see if no, that's not the one. I found one where we did a clown car and we all piled in a car, but I can't find the damn one where. So we did like a car show where you had to all pile into a car. Darn it. Maybe she tagged me in it. Hold on, let me try one more thing. I have it saved somewhere on my phone. All right. I'll find it before we go. But anyway. So anyway, like what I was saying is my son does dip. My son-in-law does wrap. Yeah, so we've dipped a couple things where you like spray paint and you dip. We had a motorcycle and we would dip like the rims and stuff and some of the pieces. And we did a couple what's it called, powder coating. Dave ruined one of my ovens and we had to buy a new one for powder coating. But we did a couple of those. And we wrapped the car ourselves, but I don't know. I'm not crazy about the wrap. Maybe I have to buy like a more expensive kind. But so the starter, I drove it to the store one morning and I came back and I turned it off and I was like, oh, maybe I should turn it back on just because Dave's about to leave for work. And I turned on I went to go turn on the car and it didn't even click, which is usually the starter. And I thought maybe it was the battery. We checked the battery, which was holding a charge, and it was fine. And that means the alternator's good because the battery wouldn't have been holding a charge if it wasn't for the alternator being good. So we think it's either the starter or like something, but we just changed the starter. So I don't know why it would be the starter. Either that or. Oh, really? He works where they manufactured it? That's cool. That's cool. Do they make like the papers with the designs on them that you put on top of the water? I love that. I will find this damn video so I can show you guys. But all right, should I get into true crime? So, Quinton Simon's grandmom, Billy Joe. Sorry. She was arrested today for contempt of court. And sounds like there's a few reasons, but one of them is because I guess there was a gag order about the children and she wasn't. Oh, Plasti Dip. Oh, okay. I know we were talking about the spray Plasti Dip. Dave loves Plasti Dip. He did a couple cars with Plasti Dip. I like Plasti Dip. Well, shit, Linda. You might need to get me a code. I like we did a couple things Plasti Dip. Now I think about it, like a couple rims. But I do like Plasti Dip. So here's my thing. I feel bad for Billy Joe. I don't really know her that well, but I do feel bad just because like she made a mistake. It's a difficult, like it's not everyone is perfect. I don't really know the whole. You have a garage full. That's awesome. I need some pink Plasti Dip, girl. Maybe if you got some glitter to put in there too, hook it up. But oh, that's not the one. That's not my car. Hold on. So I don't know. Like I would have to see the custody papers too. You know what I mean? Like if she was 100% supposed to keep Quinton away, or if there wasn't really a clause that she technically had to do. But I think a lot of people, and you're entitled to feel that way, and I think a lot of people make mistakes like that. Like you want your kids to be good people, and you want to try and push them to be good. And I'm sure in hindsight she would have never have thought that her daughter would do something this crazy. You know what I mean? Like I don't think she would have ever thought that, you know, something like this would happen, is what I'm saying. And I do feel bad for her, because I think everybody makes mistakes. You know what I mean? And I can understand it. But I don't. I can understand if people feel a different way about it. You know what I mean? But I will agree that maybe some things like could have been handled differently after. You know what I mean? Like while everything was going on. But again, when somebody's in a really messed up state of mind, and she had a lot of pressure on her from all the people outside and things like that, it got a little like, you know, insane, like all the hecklers outside or whatever. Yeah, no matter what, she's gonna have to live with this forever. I agree, Lucia, and I feel like that's probably gonna be enough. Like she's gonna have to live with the fact that her daughter's probably gonna be in prison forever. She's lost her grandkids. Yeah, you know, like regardless, she's gonna be like, she's gonna have to deal, like this is enough punishment, I think, for anybody. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I do feel bad though. Gosh, I'm trying to find that video. Yeah, it would have messed with the psyche. I can't blame her for making a mistake. It just happened to be the worst mistake she probably ever made in her life. You know what I mean? And it sucks that she'll have to, you know, that's like enough punishment for me. Like in my mind, I don't think she needs to go to jail or anything like that. But I believe what happened is that she may have not known that Quinton was included in this gag order, and she spoke about Quinton on Cher's panel, and then Court TV used the interview and put like a clip on their station, and it broke the gag order, and I believe maybe that's what she's in trouble for, plus a number of things. I think they thought she was like recording. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of pain in her face for sure. Yeah, it is sad that the little boy was murdered, and I think Leilani is just the biggest piece of trash ever, and I think she deserves everything that comes to her, to be honest. I think anyone who can throw their child in a dumpster is a human piece of trash. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like she's probably like one of the, like, if you could throw your own child in a dumpster, that's worse than, I think, you know, like, to me, that's as bad as like somebody doing terrible things to a child, is like on the same level as if you could take your own very own child and throw him in a dumpster. It's like on the same level for me. And I just think she's just a terrible human, and I don't like her at all. But I do feel bad for Billy Joe, and hopefully this doesn't affect, you know, I think she probably wants her grandkids back, and this is probably going to make it a little bit more difficult for her to do that. And I think when it just like comes to kids and custody situations, I think anything like murder cases that involve children or missing children and that have custody issues involved somehow get really tricky when people start talking publicly. I mean, we've seen this with the Wells too. It's like if they hadn't come on YouTube drunk and just spewing all kinds of information, and you know, people do weird things when they're grieving. I don't know, but it never goes well. Like, yeah, she needs to rot forever for what she did to that baby, and I totally agree. Well, yeah. Technically, Nathan, yes. One has been convicted and one I shared a post about Jen Lou's granddaughter. Yeah, I shared her community post. But yeah, one. But I think Leilani will be convicted easily. Like I don't think. I think they have a very easy case with her. Sorry, I think that they have her on video dumping him, and probably in a certain thing that they had, like a bag or like a bin or something. And I'm sure they found that exact thing in the landfill and human remains. So it will be very easy in the court of law and in front of the jury to tie that to her. If they hadn't found the body, then it would make it a lot harder because they would have to, she could say I was just throwing out trash or whatever. But now I think they have a really strong case against her. And I think she will definitely be convicted for sure. Yeah, who is the other child accused? I don't know if this is 100% true. I've just heard that her older son killed Billy Joe's ex, maybe? Yeah, her son didn't kill his baby. Her son killed a grown man. Some responsibility should rest on YouTubers that allow people in extreme grief and in pain to panel. Yeah, I agree. I think it's a fine line. Yeah, it's a very fine. It's. I think like I'm not against people talking to families and stuff, but I feel like when it comes to children's cases, it becomes very, and when it's just more like when it's internal family stuff, you know what I mean? I feel like that always gets totally, like, the lines get blurred, and I don't know. Hey, Sleuth Mom. It's like, it seems like anytime there is a child case that goes all over YouTube, it gets, like, super exploited in a bad way, and it just, like, you need to be very, like, I feel like it needs to be done very carefully. But I feel so bad for her that, you know, she's in this position, and that it even, you know, you have to just be like if you have, like, for instance, I think it's fine if you, I think just when it has to come with beat Tim has skedaddled his way over here, just when it has to do with kids. I mean, grown adults, because when it comes to courts and minors and information about that, like the Wells case went the same way, and it's just, it sucks that it's, and the hecklers did not help at all. I just feel like they you know, they made it a lot harder too. Like there was no reason to do all that for them either, because like it just all around every time. Yeah, there's a fine line. Yep, exactly, Sleuth Mom. There's certain things you cannot allow families to say, no matter how many clicks and views it can bring. You know, like if you talk to them personally and you're like, hey, I have a statement and this is what do you want to say, and you have that like planned out, but anything can happen on panels. So it's just like, you know, some things, panels get really scary because a lot of things you can't control or take back, and then you have to go edit stuff out, and then there's always another side that's feeling a different way about it, and then they want to, you know, cause more problems. You know what I mean? Like it never works out well, you know. The only one I had a problem with was with Dolly. Yeah, I mean, I have a problem. Like, it bothers me when people go and try and rush police when they have no idea what the police are doing. They're like 2 weeks into the case, and they'll be like, police aren't getting anything done. The case is going cold. And it's like, what are you talking about? Things are just starting. It takes 2 weeks for evidence to come back. It takes 2 weeks for phone records to come back. I mean, that stuff takes a while, and people are like, they just want to rush stuff, and they want instant gratification, and things like take time. Like even with this Idaho case, like everyone's talking about how it's gonna go cold. It's like, it's not going cold. This stuff just started. You know what I mean? Like all of this just started. There's 4 victims. It's gonna take a long time to, you know, get everything in order. So that's why the hecklers bother. Yeah, 2 weeks is fast, and that's why the hecklers bother me, because it'll be like 2 weeks into the case and they're like down there, you know, pushing the police to make an arrest, and it's like, don't do that, because the police need more information before they make an arrest, unless you want this person to get off and double jeopardy takes effect, and then they can't arrest them because they've already, you know, if for instance the Morphew case, which I feel differently on than most people, but they had a year to put a case together, and they still didn't have it together by the time they arrested him. So I think we live in a society where people want instant gratification, and people watch these like 48 hours and things like that, and think that cases are like, oh, if it's not done in 48 hours, it goes cold. And that's just not the case. Like, you have to write up tons and tons of paperwork just to get things subpoenaed or warrants. You know, it's a lot of work. It's not just like, okay, you have to, most of these like a lot of businesses won't just hand over their cameras. You have to go get a warrant from a judge and go serve them that warrant, and then they hand over the stuff or whatever. Yeah, it's not the first 48. So you should have never arrested Barry without enough evidence. That was a huge mistake, and they were hoping that public opinion would keep him in jail. Yeah, I can't stand Linda Stanley. I hate that woman. And I think she sucked at her job, and I think she really pushed to have that arrest because it was a year later on Mother's Day, and I know she had that pushed because she just so happened Chris McDonough was in town, like King knew about it. Every, you know, important big true crime person just happened to know about it or be there for the you know what I mean? Like, she definitely tipped all these people off. She made a big stink about it so she would get all this recognition, and they weren't ready, and they literally begged her not to do it, and they still went forward with it, which is like CBI begged them not to do it. Don't even get me started on that case, because for a guy who sells soap, you'd think he'd be a lot cleaner. Facts. What about, oh my gosh, I was just talking about this, the JLR video where he finds the Hyundai Elantra. I think Hills of the Air did it. Yeah. And it's a Toyota, it was a Toyota, and he's like, it's a Hyundai Elantra. It is. It's that. It's like, no, it's not, dude. Plus, the guy's 70. Like, I doubt he's like climbing through windows and stabbing young. Like, I don't know. I just don't buy it. But okay. But those people were not at PD's. Yeah, they were outside a home hurling insults, which doesn't make it any better. But personal hygiene isn't on the top 10 list over there. Right? And so Idaho 4, I've heard there, I'm going to go check right now because I heard there might have been like an update posted today. But now they are, I've been hearing a lot of chatter about the frat nearby. And oh, here we go. You want to watch? We could watch this real quick. It's an Idaho 4 update. It's the chief. And Dr. Phil did a special on it too. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I did see clips. Hey, Jody. I just talked about Quinton Simon's grandmother being arrested, which is, I believe, because she talked about the children who are under a gag order. I know she did try really hard not to talk about the children. I think she didn't know Quinton was on that gag order because she did say a lot, which I will say she definitely tried. Like, she would be like, oh, I can't talk about the other kids, or I asked that nobody talk about the other kids. So maybe she just didn't know that Quinton was included in that gag order. And I could see why she would think that maybe he wasn't. And supposedly Court TV took a clip from one of Cher's lives, and that broke the gag order. And there were some other things too, like they thought she was recording or something. I don't know. I didn't get the whole story yet, but I did hear something about they thought she was recording, or it like recording in the courtroom. Anyone hear that? Oh no, Nina. Well, I hope your daughter feels better. No worries. Take care of your baby. All right, let me share my screen. We can watch this real quick. So this is a Idaho 4 update that came out today, I believe. Yeah, shares panel. Oh wait, let me make sure I have the audio on. For some reason, I feel like I didn't click it. That little like stupid button in the corner.
Good morning. My name is Roger Lanier. I'm a captain with the Moscow Police Department. I'm in charge of the Operations Division. And today is December 12th, Monday. And I want to give you an update on the King Road homicide investigations, at least the information that we have to this point. Over the weekend, investigators still continued to sort through numerous tips, calls, and online tips in regard to this investigation. There's been a lot of questions about the white car that we've been interested in. We're looking for that car because we believe through our investigation that car was in the area during the time of the murders. And we also believe that the occupant or occupants may have seen something. They may not know they have seen something. So we specifically want to talk to them, and we want to know.
So I heard some people say they could see the car in like a window at the food truck, but I haven't heard anything about that car being at the food truck. I've only heard the police say that it was seen outside of around the residence at the time the murders happened. She has all three. That's crazy. Well, I hope she feels better. I'm sure that's probably, oh, I feel bad. Poor baby. I'll tell her I said get better soon. Yeah, I've heard a lot of rumors about that, but I haven't seen the police say anything about it, Kayla, but I have. My thumbs couldn't be bothered with clicking on them, Paul. Oh, dude. Oh. Yeah, that's crazy. 10,000 in 3 days. That's insane to me. I haven't seen a picture of it, though. I'm sure I'm going to assume that they have a bunch of Ring cameras from the neighbors, and probably have Ring cameras around that time of all the cars traveling by. So, okay. Well, keep us updated, Mia. Hopefully she's all right. Yeah, make sure she sits up. Make sure she sits up and doesn't lay flat, because that's like the common cause for pneumonia, when you don't sit up and it all settles down there. Ugh. And have her keep flipping. Oh, that has to be terrible. I can't even imagine having all three of those at the same time.
Who they are and what they might know or might be able to contribute to the investigation. Over the weekend, investigators have sorted through and prioritized numerous tips. Some are tips that came in earlier and we've been working on. Other tips are new and are relevant. It's overwhelming sometimes with the amount of information that comes in on these tip lines. So our analysts have spent hours sorting through and trying to come up with the most relevant tips first for the investigators to follow up on. They have re-interviewed some of the folks we've interviewed earlier in this investigation to clarify information. Sometimes when new information comes forward, the people that we've spoken to beforehand may have new insight on that. So it does often seem like we're backtracking, but we're really just trying to get the most important details and the best timeline that we can come up with. We have literally an army of analysts who have been sorting through videos that have been submitted through the FBI.gov Moscow upload site. Those videos are from all over town, gas stations, and specifically the area around King Road. We've been trying to use those videos to garner new information. As you can imagine, there's hours and hours and hours of video, so it does take a lot of time. I want to talk a minute about safety. There's been a lot of speculation about what is the safety to the public right now, or the risk to the public right now. I would just like to add that we should always be vigilant. Certainly we should be vigilant now, but we should make that a way of life for us. We should always be walking with our head up, sticking to lighted paths, and walking in groups if we can.
So, Kayla, here's my take on the dad. I feel bad for him because I know he's grieving, and I know any normal person who has a child, if you are a mom or a dad and your child gets brutally murdered, you're going to want to know everything. You're going to feel like you deserve to know everything. That's your kid. And this is probably the first time in his life where he feels like somebody's telling him, no, you can't know that information. He's like, but that's my kid, you know? I think he's backtracked a little bit and maybe kind of understood a little more why he needs to be quiet, but I feel like he was talking a little too much. And I think he feels like the police are focusing more on Ethan and Xana aspect of it, and I think he thinks that his daughter was the target based on like what he saw, because I believe, you know, he probably saw her body making that funeral comment, and he probably compared notes with Maddie's family because they were so close. So he might think his daughter's wounds were significantly worse, but we have to take into account too that his daughter's wounds could have been significantly worse because she may have tried to fight back. You know, it doesn't necessarily, unless there was something, I think Ava said this in Parker's, that like, unless they like mutilated like her somewhere or did something that really like stood out that was just other than being a little bit more like rough or her injuries being a little bit more worse, then maybe be like, oh yeah, she's targeted. But like it could have just, her injuries may have been significantly worse because she may have tried to like fight back, and the guy could have gotten enraged or, you know, hyped up because she was fighting, and you know, so obviously I don't know the extent of their injuries, but I feel like he thinks his daughter was the target, hence why he said, oh, well, they didn't have to go upstairs or whatever. But I think the police kind of seem like they are heavily focused on the Ethan Xana frat party side of things, which I thought was weird at first too, because it didn't seem like it was that way. But the more I hear about stuff coming out, the more it seems like that might be a viable theory. Yeah, Jody, I heard that too, and I heard Maddie was too. So I don't know. But like I said, it could be that he was in a rage because she was trying to fight back. I don't know, but I did hear that too. But I heard Maddie was like, I heard that the same thing you heard, but about Maddie. And like, I guess the new thing going around is that Ethan had a problem with this one guy. I after we play this, I'll summarize it for you, but there's like chatter going around. Obviously, I can't confirm any of this stuff because a lot of it comes from like people talking about it on like 4chan under like anonymous names or whatever. But I do believe like some of the kids have like come forward and like said that they have nothing to do with it, like on Twitter and things like that, who have been accused of it. But supposedly, and even according to the Daily Mail lady on Dr. Phil, which I really take Daily Mail with a grain of salt, but the lady Caitlin was on Dr. Phil, and she said something of the nature that the students are saying that there was a fight between Ethan and another guy from, I guess, the frat that night, and that Xana broke it up, and that it wasn't a big deal. But there was anonymous sources going around saying that, hey Joneson, how you doing, girl? There's anonymous sources going around saying that there was. Hold on, let me pull it up. I'll just get into it now that I have it paused. Give me a second. I just have to find it. Okay, here it is. So there's someone saying that these frat guys named so and so and so and so did it, and that so apparently the frat house, I guess Ethan's frat house, is super close. So let me show you. This, where the yellow is, this is King Road, and this is the frat house, which is weird to me because I feel like in the in the like the map of like the parties and stuff. Yeah, it's literally across the street. The map of the party there. I don't know if they were at this frat party, but it looked like it was farther away. But regardless, there's like a frat right across the street, and these, people are this is obviously just speculation. I have no idea, but they were saying like you could see King Road House from this person's room, and they believe that when one of the girls turned the third floor light off, that's when they went over there. And the one guy got in a fight with Ethan that night, which is confirmed. Well, not confirmed. I'm not going to say confirmed, but this is what Daily Mail is saying they heard from students as well. And I think they are actually reaching out to students and interviewing them. So it's not confirmed. So don't take. I'm saying like it goes together is what I'm trying to say. From what like Daily Mail is saying they heard from students and what they are saying on 4chan, it kind of like it works together. Like it almost seems like maybe there is something to it because you know, that's what they're hearing and this is what these people are putting. Hey Sabrina. Did I say hi to you, Lynn? I think I did, but just in case. Hey, girl. All right, so apparently Ethan and another guy got in a fight. And then they said Xana, now this is from an anonymous source on 4chan, guys. So obviously this could just be total bullcrap and be some crazy person making this up. Have you heard any more info that supposedly came from Kaylee's dad today? I don't know if he, I mean, I can look and see if he, I heard that he is going to sue Fox News because they twisted his words, which I find kind of interesting because he went on and on saying that YouTubers were like shit and that he's only talking to big media sources, and now supposedly Fox News twisted his words and now he wants to sue them. So look how that worked out. But all right, so this is what Fox News put out. The father of slain University Idaho student Kaylee Gonsalves told Fox News Digital that victims had big open gouges that were clearly the work of a sadistic male and called police cowards for not sharing more with the public. Steve Gonsalves said he asked the coroner, Kathy Mabutt, how many times the victims were stabbed. She says, "Sir, I don't think stabs is the right word. It was like tears, like this was a strong weapon, not like a stab." She said these were big open gouges. She said it was quick. These weren't something where you were going to be able to call 911. They were not going to slowly bleed out. But he's supposedly claiming that, like from what I've heard, that they twisted his words. I don't know, but... Oh, okay, I did, Lynn. I was just making sure. Like, I'm pretty sure I said hi to her, but I was just double checking. Yeah, so but they're saying it came from Steve Gonsalves, and he's saying that he didn't say those particular words and that they twisted his words. So, that's what I heard he's saying, and that he's going to hire a lawyer and sue them. Parker, didn't you say that? Where did you hear that? I think you said that. So anyway... this anonymous person is saying Ethan and this guy got in a fight that night, and Xana was talking-ish, and that the guy who fought Ethan had problems with Maddie also, and that this stuff has been brewing since Fall Rush last year, and that they went quiet on social media for 2 weeks before and after the deed. So-and-so's mom's a paralegal or something like that. I don't know. Sorry, I'm reading now. I'm trying to read it and then summarizing. He did say that? Okay. I'm trying to like read what it said because it's like this really weird way they wrote it, and I'm going to try and summarize it for you. But supposedly, according to an anonymous source on 4chan, which I have no idea if this is just some fake person making this up, but who knows? That guy who fought Ethan had issues with Ethan because Ethan talks crap about him taking roids. And he wanted Xana, I guess. He had a crush on Xana. I don't know. Supposedly, they said they talked about leaving their cell phones behind, and on YouTube autoplay, no pings, no guns, too loud, area dead early Sunday mornings. So people are trying to say that they had this planned, that they had talked about it before, and that it's some frat thing. And that I guess maybe Maddie was in the middle somehow, which doesn't surprise me because Maddie and Xana work together, so maybe their lives are a little more intertwined. Now, I have no idea if this is true, but it does match up with what the lady from Daily Mail was saying, which I kind of take Daily Mail with a grain of salt either. So, like I said, I have no idea if it's true. I have no idea if where Daily Mail is getting their information, but it sounds like. Do we know who the guy is that Ethan fought? I've heard a name, but I don't know if I want to like put it out there because I don't want innocent people being, Yeah. It was really hard to read. The way they were talking, it was like, if you read how they wrote it all, it was like, yeah, this bruh was like this, and they all talk shit, and so didn't like him. Yeah, it's getting muddled so bad that like I don't really want to put any names out there just because like I don't, I have no idea if these people are involved, and I don't want to create more suspicion around people who don't need to be. But I mean, if you want to find it, it's out there. Like if you like search around for stuff, you'll find what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's hard. Definitely. I mean, here's the problem. It's definitely hard to research because in like a case like this, the college students, like colleges, there's so many people. They've probably had thousands of people at their house. They probably have 1,000 different connections, like work, school, like an ex-boyfriend. There's 4 different people. You don't know what. No, it's not that guy, Johnson. I don't. From what I read, it's not that guy. Do you have Discord, Jones? And someone here, come in my Discord and I'll message you if you have a Discord. I'll message you who it is. But I don't even. They have it blurred out, like the names. They just have like the first letter, but it's in the Facebook groups. Put it that way. It made perfect sense to you, but my son texts that way. It took me a while to read. I mean, I got it like after I started reading it a couple times, but it took me a minute to like decipher how they were talking. Yeah, if a fight really happened the night of the murders with a guy who had roid rage, yeah, it could be something for sure. And I feel like the cops are definitely, like going down that angle. You know what I mean? Oh, I didn't finish this. I forget where I was at on this.
Good morning. My name is Rod.
I think I was right around there. But
An army of analysts who have been so.
No. I think the first letters is like an L and a B. If you're in the Facebook groups, they have it on there, like in all of them. Well, I don't know. They might be deleting it now, but it begins with an L and like a B, I think, the guys' names. They have it blurred out, so I don't know who the guys are. Yeah. No, it's not a J. It's not a J, yeah. I think there's no reward because I think, 2 guys. I don't know if it insinuated 2 guys. Thump Thug, right? Did it insinuate 2 guys? I think it sounded like 2 guys, but one in particular was more angry than the other, maybe. You have no social media. I don't want to put put this, like put it out there just because I don't want it to like. It's on 4chan too. I'm sure you can type in like go on 4chan and like type in like Idaho stuff and find it. But I have no idea like if it's really even anything or if it's just some anonymous. Are we dealing Discord? All right. Or if it's some anonymous crap, you know what I mean? Like some people just like to stir up shit for fun, like Joseph Morris who made a fake scream, Yeah. It's posted on my Twitter. Someone left it complete with pics. Oh, really? What's your... Is your Twitter under your name? Are you comfortable sharing your Twitter thread with me? Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do it off screen. Hold on. Hold up. Let me do it in here. It gets even more complicated every time I learn new stuff. But it does seem the police are really going down that angle, though. Okay, I found you. I just followed you. How far down is it? Oh no, I'm like way too far down. Hold on. You have it. You have the 4chan thing? Is that what you're talking about? Why can't I see it? No. I'll look later. Like 30, 45 minutes ago? So it's showing up for me. Yeah, I don't see it. Ryan, I don't know. It's been talked about in the Facebook groups, the bullying aspect of it. Oh, okay, it was a reply to the fraternity house. Oh, okay. Is it the video thing? The YouTube video thing? I see it. All right. Yeah, there was talk about the bullying thing. Supposedly, they're saying that Maddie and Kaylee, I guess, bullied some girl who unalived herself with OTC's sleep medication. I don't know the extent of that either. That all started because some corgi lady with corgi something in her name. Oh, click on the comments. Aha. Okay, I found it. All right, so Jones in. If you don't know how to get it, go to tweets and replies, then go to like that first one at the top and click on the comments, and it's all there. So they have it blacked out on this one too. Do you have one where they don't black out the name? Shit. Hold on. I'm trying to save it so I don't lose them. I don't know if I see. Oh. Here, yeah, it is. Okay, I see it now. Thank you, Ava. Yeah, I'll send it to people in my Discord if they want to see it. I just don't want to put stuff out there, especially because the police are saying now that they're going to press charges on people who are causing issues for people who, I don't want to be any parts of that. I don't want to cause any wild speculation, Hey, Hippiporium, I hope you're doing well too. Makes me nervous. But let me keep playing this because we didn't get to finish this yet.
In addition, letting people know when you've arrived home if you have not made prior arrangements. This is not an indication of a specific elevated risk, but something that we should be vigilant with just in our daily lives. I want to let everybody know that we are still 100% committed to solving this crime. There's a lot of information to sort through, and the information keeps coming in. And not all of the information is relevant, but you don't know if a tip is valid until you take the time to examine that tip and see how it relates to other information that you might have. We have teams in Moscow, Salt Lake City, and in Virginia, as well as other locations across the country. And we're prepared to do interviews and follow up on information at any point, anywhere. The ISP and FBI investigators, along with the Moscow Police Department investigators, includes dozens of analysts, tip line operators, and others, and they're working around the clock 7 days a week to sort through the volumes of information. MPD has detectives, support personnel, and a communications team to try to keep everything together, but it is still a daunting task. The FBI, their investigators are ready at a moment's notice at any place in the country to go conduct an interview should the tips and leads take us there. And the Idaho State Police has, besides working on the investigation, had several uniformed troopers in the area to help with safety concerns around the city and on the University of Idaho campus. And just a quick reminder, please stick to official news releases for information. Tracking down rumors and quelling rumors about specific individuals or specific events that may or may not have happened is a huge distraction for investigators, and oftentimes is the result of social media propagation, and it is very, very frustrating to investigators and hard to stay on track. Finally, I just want to add that we do have a lot of information, and we are specifically keeping that information safe. We're not releasing specific details because we do not want to compromise this investigation. It's what we must do. We owe that to the families, and we owe that to the victims. We want more than just an arrest. We want a conviction. We owe that justice to Xana K.
He makes a good point too. It's important not to put things out there so they can get justice without running into any. I think they have someone in mind. I do, because I think they would have been okay with a reward coming out. I think they would have been okay with a reward coming out if they didn't have an idea who it was. And I think they know why the house was targeted. I just feel like, no. I'm going to bed soon. But I think they know why the house was targeted. I think they know. I think they just aren't sharing it. Or they don't have enough evidence to arrest them. So.
Haley, Madison, and Ethan. And finally, I would just like to remind anybody with information, you can call the tip line at 208-883-7180. And that is directly to the tip line office in the FBI. There's been some frustration about having to wade through the tip line, but remember, this is not the only investigation in the country. So please be patient. We want that information. Anything could break this open for us. And then also the email tip line is tipline@ci.moscow.id.us. Thank you for your continued patience in this investigation.
Oh, I don't think it's going cold at all. I think they're just starting. Like, I think they're just getting all their information. I think they're probably just getting all of the phone records and social media records. I think they still have like 4,000 tips to go through, and they're now going through all of the video surveillance nearby and around that time. So I think they're just starting, honestly. Yeah, I think it's going to turn out to be something so crazy. It's probably going to be something that's totally off and nobody even thought it was from the beginning. It's going to be someone, way out of the park that we didn't suspect, probably. Like, I mean, that kind of like threw me for a loop in the Athena case. I was never expecting that a FedEx driver would have nabbed her up out of her front yard. I mean, that would probably be the last thing I would have thought of. So, you never know. Yeah, they've had time now too to notice behaviors. Yeah, I'm sure they're watching a bunch of people or a particular person. I mean, they have to have some idea if, like, I think that's why. Let me see if I can show you real quick. Hold on. They mentioned specifically on that like website that they have. Like they really wanted to know what Ethan and Xana were doing that night, and the 3-year-old, they were empty cans that I just never threw away. I know, I need to clean my desk. It was from the night before I left the can, and then earlier that day. I love sugar-free Red Bull. I love sugar-free Red Bull. Delphi wasn't even cold case after 5 years, right? I mean, they had all the information in the beginning for cold case for sure. Like, they could have solved Delphi, like, right away. And a clerical error definitely screwed it up for them, for sure. But I am going to end it because it's going on an hour and a half. But, oh, wait. Let me find that one thing real quick before I go. It's got to be in this list somewhere. But they made it a really... Alcohol offense. Hold on. It was way before this. But I feel like that's why Steve Gonsalves was getting mad, because he felt like they were focusing on Ethan and Xana too. Hold on. There's so many updates. This is more updates than any police, I feel like, gives anyone. I mean, not that they give too many when they do, but I'm surprised people are so angry about not getting information, because they do put out a lot. All right, hold on. I'm going on the website. Hey, that girl. All right, sounds good. I'm probably going to end it soon anyway, but oh my goodness. Look at all these. Wait till you see this. I don't know if I'm going to go through all these. Yeah, guys, check out that girl's channel. She just did a really pretty video for Athena Strand. Was it this one, maybe? No, that was the car. Oh my goodness. Why did I do this? They were asking for information on more of the whereabouts between Ethan and Xana. Okay, so they were at Sigma Chi House on 735 Nez Perce Drive. So they were at, that's where the party was, right behind their house. But there's like a time frame where they don't know where they were early in the night. like between like 9 and, I guess when they got home. And they were asking, I'm going to have to try and find it. But they were asking for more information on where they could have been in that like time frame. That's okay, that girl. I know. But yeah, they've Nathan, think how long? Yeah, for just to get just to get a warrant for phone records, you have to type up like probable cause of why you need the warrant. Then you got to go see a judge, which is only during the week, and I don't know how fast they can get that in. But then the judge has to sign off on it. Then they have to take it to the phone place, give it to the phone place, and subpoena the records. And then the phone place has to hand it all over to them. And sometimes they don't even get that information back for like a while. Yeah, but the cops can't do it, Nathan. The cops can't do anything if they don't have enough info. You know what I mean? Like, all right, for instance, when you arrest somebody and if they want a speedy trial, it happens quickly. And once, if you don't have all the evidence you need to prove that they did it, and then it quickly starts rolling, and then you have to go to trial and you can't prove that this person did it, then this person cannot be reconvicted of murder because that double jeopardy takes effect. So what happens is, if they don't take their time and do it right, then this person can be out in the world forever to viciously slaughter whoever they want, rather than let it take, months or a year or so before they get them. I mean, you want it to be done in a timely fashion, but at the same time, if you don't do it right, then you lose your chance, period, of being able to take it to trial again. I mean, you could always, but you have to have a good excuse why. Like, you could say, oh, I want to bring it to trial later if we find new evidence, but you have to have a good excuse why. Yeah, some judges are weird. Yep. And a lot, you be surprised, phone companies do not want to hand their stuff over. Because a lot of stuff, like I guess, they probably deal with a lot of lawsuits from victims' families and things like that. So a phone company is not just going to be like, and plus they have to protect the privacy of their customers. So phone record companies aren't just going to be like, oh, here, take, whatever record you want viciously slaughtered. Yes. Yeah, even the defense needs time. So it's just, I don't know. By the way, my YouTube detective gray hangs on my kitchen wall, Nathan. You are an experienced YouTube detective, Thumb Thug. Working hard on these cases, girl. But yeah, I don't know. It's yeah, you don't want to set that very short clock in motion until all the dots connect. I mean, if you get to a point where you have enough dots where you feel like you can do it, even though you don't have everything you want, then fine. But if you don't have enough dots to even do it, then don't even bother. But yeah, it's understandable that anybody would want to kill her in jail like that, because you don't want them to go killing a bunch of people. But yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said. If they want a right to a speedy trial, that happens fast, like months. I think they have up to a year to do a trial, but it usually happens within months. So, and it takes sometimes months just for evidence to come back. So keep that in mind. Next time people start heckling the police to get it done and saying they're not doing enough, because usually they are, their hands are tied and they can't do anything yet because they don't have enough proof, I guess. I heard they got some back, but I doubt they have all of it back yet. I mean, that house is probably littered with thousands of different kinds of DNA because it's a party house. So they're going to have to sift through all that and, figure out whose is whose. And I'm sure that's going to take a while. But I'm going to go, guys. Thank you for coming. I will be back Wednesday night. Maybe I'll do an afternoon one tomorrow. I don't know. I don't usually do afternoon ones, but maybe I'll throw a different time in there and get people who don't get to come at this time. And then Wednesday I'll come back at night. But I have to run to the store, the late night store, because I'm hungry. And I don't feel like cooking. Thank you, Nate. We'll hope to see all you guys Wednesday, or if I do go live tomorrow, keep a lookout for tomorrow afternoon. All right, good night, guys. Thank you for coming. See you, everyone.